The security klaxon started exactly 47 minutes before Mira Kelton's transport was scheduled to dock. I was reviewing lesson plans when my console lit up with urgent warnings, red cascading across every display. The station's AI, a sophisticated Valorian system that had never given a false positive in 60 cycles, was screaming about biological contamination. Threat Level 7. The same classification reserved for weaponized pathogens and engineered biohorrors from the Kresh Wars. Station security to Professor Vozigan. The comm crackled. We're detecting a high-threat organism aboard the incoming human transport. Authorization required for docking clearance. I stared at the biometric readings scrolling across my screen. Predatory sensory systems. Retractable claws. Specialized killing teeth. Flexible skeletal structure optimized for stalking. The AI had flagged it as an apex hunter, possibly military grade. Professor, should we initiate quarantine protocols? My throat sacs constricted. This was supposed to be the pet exchange program. Harmless. Educational. Adorable creatures that students could observe and learn from. Not whatever nightmare the humans were bringing. Stand by, I managed, checking the manifest one more time. Species, Felis catus. Common name, house cat. Status, domesticated companion animal. The AI disagreed. Vehemently. Mira arrived precisely on schedule. Humans obsess over time in ways that border on pathological. She walked through my classroom door carrying a woven container, smiling that unsettling teeth-baring expression her species uses for friendliness. 32 students from 14 different worlds watched with a mixture of curiosity and concern. The security warnings were still flashing on my personal display. Hello everyone. Her voice carried genuine enthusiasm. I'm so excited to introduce you to Luna. Before you do, I interrupted, all four arms gesturing at my console. Our security systems have classified your companion as a threat level 7 biological entity. Mira laughed. Actually laughed. Oh, that's just because cats are technically apex predators. Luna's completely harmless. Harmless, I repeated slowly. The AI detected retractable claws, specialized killing teeth, and enhanced sensory systems designed for hunting. Well, yes, Mira said cheerfully. Cats are obligate carnivores. They're incredibly efficient hunters. That's what makes them so wonderful. Several students shifted uncomfortably. The Valorian fluffball in the corner habitat stopped humming entirely. You brought a predator, I said, to a classroom full of younglings. She's domesticated, Mira assured me, opening the container. Luna emerged like liquid shadow made solid. Small, yes, perhaps 3.5 kilograms, but every movement screamed precision-engineered killer. Gray and white fur rippled over compact muscles. Her tail, striped and expressive, moved with deliberate intent. Then she opened her eyes. Green. Predator-forward binocular vision. Designed for tracking, calculating distance, identifying weakness. Those eyes swept the classroom, cataloging each student as either threat, prey, or irrelevant. Students, I whispered, remain absolutely still. Luna's ears swiveled independently, triangulating sounds. She yawned, and I heard 3 younglings gasp. Her mouth opened impossibly wide, revealing dental architecture designed for one purpose, efficient killing. 4 prominent canines for gripping. Smaller teeth for shearing meat. A flexible jaw for delivering the precise bite that severs spinal cords. She's just sleepy, Mira said fondly. Carriers make her cranky. Cranky. The predator was cranky. Luna hopped down from the table, landing without sound. Specialized paw pads absorbed all impact. She began walking, investigating, claiming territory. Every student tracked her movement. Evolutionary instinct. When predators move, you watch. 10,000 years, Mira continued, humans have lived alongside cats. We never tried to change what they are. That was the disturbing part. By week 3, something extraordinary happened. My students became obsessed. Prex drew detailed anatomical sketches during free periods, Luna in hunting stance, grooming positions, sleeping configurations. The precision was remarkable. Concerning, but remarkable. Vin wrote a 20-page research paper on feline domestication. Voluntary. Unprompted. With citations from human sources I had never heard of. Professor, Vin approached me after class, did you know cats chose humans, not the other way around? Explain. Cats domesticated themselves. When humans developed agriculture, rodents came. Cats followed the rodents. Humans realized cats were useful, so they tolerated them. Eventually, the cats that were friendliest to humans had evolutionary advantages. But they never lost their hunting instincts. Humans didn't want them to. I processed this. Humans befriended predators because those predators killed other creatures humans found inconvenient. Symbiosis, Vin said enthusiastically. Mutual benefit. Meanwhile, Mira brought a laser pointer. The small device projected a red dot onto the floor. Luna's transformation was instantaneous, pupils dilating to massive black pools, ears forward, hindquarters wiggling. The red dot moved. Luna exploded into motion, moving with speed that seemed to violate physics. She ran up the wall. Literally ran vertically up a solid surface. Students cheered. I questioned every life choice that led to this moment. Everything changed during week 5. The class was normal, Luna exploring, students observing, Mira explaining tail position communication. Then the fire alarm shrieked through the station. Luna's transformation was immediate and terrifying. Ears flattened against her skull. Pupils contracted to razor slits. Her fur puffed outward, doubling her apparent size. The sound that emerged from her small body was pure concentrated threat, hissing mixed with growling, a promise of violence. Everyone stay calm, Mira said, but her voice carried tension. The students lined up for evacuation, trained and orderly. Luna pressed against the wall, making herself simultaneously smaller and more dangerous. Her claws extended, scoring marks in the metal surface. We need to evacuate, I said. Protocol requires. I can't leave her like this, Mira interrupted. She's terrified. She might hurt herself. Can you contain her? Not safely. Not when she's this scared. We had an impossible situation. A frightened apex predator who couldn't be safely handled, and protocols demanding immediate evacuation. Then Prex did something inexplicable. The six-eyed Carelian sat down on the floor, cross-legged, 2 meters from Luna. Just sat there, calm and still, not making eye contact. Prex, what are you doing? I hissed. Trying something, Prex said softly, beginning to hum. Prex's humming filled the space between alarm blares, a low, soothing sound that Carelians use for comforting their young. Luna's ears twitched, still flat but acknowledging the sound. The growling decreased slightly. You're okay, Prex murmured. Nobody's going to hurt you. The noise is scary, but you're safe here. I watched, unable to intervene, as a student attempted to comfort an alien predator during an emergency. Luna's tail began to lower. Her fur started settling. One cautious step forward, then another. Good girl, Prex said. You're being so brave. When Luna reached Prex, she sniffed the offered hand, palm down, non-threatening. Then she bumped her head against it, that gesture Mira called bunting. Trust, given freely. Can I pick her up? Prex asked. Try, Mira whispered. Support her back legs. Prex scooped Luna against their chest. The cat made a small chirping sound and started purring, that deep vibration indicating safety. The alarm cut off. Emergency cancelled, false alert from a malfunctioning sensor. Luna, exhausted from fear, fell asleep in Prex's arms. That was excellent, Mira said, wiping water from her eyes. You read her perfectly. Luna trusted you. I just didn't want her to be scared, Prex said simply. There it was. The thing humans understood instinctively, predators feel fear too. She wakes me up at 3 in the morning, Mira mentioned casually during week 6, screaming for food even though her bowl is full. Students stared. Sometimes she knocks everything off my nightstand. My water glass, my communication device, my reading materials. Just swats them onto the floor while maintaining eye contact. Why? Vin asked, horrified. Because she wants attention. Or because she's bored. Or because she finds it entertaining. Honestly, I'm never quite sure. Cobb raised a tentacle. And you tolerate this behavior? Well, yes. That's just what cats do. She also sits on my chest at dawn and stares at me until I wake up. Sometimes she pats my face with her paw, claws retracted, thankfully. This sounds like psychological warfare, I observed. Mira laughed. It kind of is. But then she'll curl up on my lap and purr, or bring me her toys to throw, or do that slow blink thing that means I love you, and I forget about the 3 a.m. wake-up calls. The students began discussing this among themselves. The prevailing theory was Stockholm Syndrome, hostages developing positive feelings toward captors. But watching Luna groom herself in a patch of sunlight, completely content, I wondered if there was more to it. Humans didn't just tolerate the inconvenience. They cherished it, found it endearing. They loved their predators, chaos included. Late one evening, I found Prex still in the classroom, watching archived videos of Luna. The six-eyed student looked up as I entered. "Professor, can I ask you something?" "Of course." "Why does Luna's gentleness feel more meaningful than the fluffballs?" Prex gestured toward the Valorian habitat. "The fluffball has never threatened anyone. It's incapable of harm. But when Luna chooses to be gentle, to not use her claws when playing, to purr instead of growl, it means more." "Why?" I considered this carefully. Because choice requires capability. The fluffball cannot harm you, so its gentleness is simply its nature. Luna could harm you. She has the weapons, the instincts, the capability. Every moment she chooses not to use them is a conscious decision. "Exactly," Prex said excitedly. "That's what humans understand. They don't want animals that are incapable of harm. They want animals that choose not to harm them. That choice creates the bond." "Trust goes both ways," I said slowly, understanding crystallizing. Luna trusts Mira not to hurt her. Mira trusts Luna to be gentle. Both have power in the relationship. Both voluntarily restrain that power. "It's beautiful," Prex said quietly. "Terrifying, but beautiful." Outside the viewport, stars wheeled in their ancient patterns. Somewhere on distant Earth, humans slept beside their predators, trusting in choices made and kept. Luna's final week arrived too quickly. The classroom felt heavy with impending absence. Students brought gifts, hand-drawn pictures, carved toys, written observations. Luna accepted them with regal grace, as if she'd always known she was the center of their universe. On the last day, she visited each student individually. Rubbing against them, allowing final pets, purring her deep rumbling goodbye. When she reached me, she jumped onto my desk and headbutted my hand, that gesture of profound cat affection. "I'm going to miss you," I told her, feeling absurd. Missing a predator. But truth is truth, regardless of logic. As Mira packed the carrier, I reflected on everything learned. Humans didn't domesticate cats by changing them. They accepted predators fully, claws, teeth, hunting instincts, midnight chaos, all of it. In exchange for that radical acceptance, they received something extraordinary, genuine affection from a creature that could choose violence but selected love instead. "Thank you," I told Mira, "for teaching us that predator and companion aren't opposites. That danger and love can exist in the same being. That accepting something completely, including its capacity for harm, is the deepest form of trust." Mira smiled, tears in her eyes. "We've had 10,000 years to learn that lesson. Give yourself time." After they left, the classroom felt empty. The fluffball hummed. The shimmer sprite glowed. But something essential was missing. 3 days later, Mira sent a video. Luna, sprawled belly up, completely relaxed. The caption read, "She misses everyone. Especially Prex and Professor Vozigan." Prex cried when I showed them. I pretended not to notice. 3 months later, Dean Oryx contacted me directly. Her compound eyes held an expression I'd learned to recognize as excitement mixed with apprehension. "Professor Vozigan, your pet exchange participation generated unprecedented interest. The Galactic Council has made a formal request." "What kind of request?" "They want to learn about an animal called a dog. Apparently, humans bond with them even more intensely than with cats. The Council needs to understand how this is possible." I thought about Luna, her independence, her selective affection, her predatory nature carefully balanced with chosen gentleness. If dogs exceeded that bond, if they were more loyal, more devoted, more connected to humans than cats. "Dean Oryx," I said slowly, "I think we're going to need a bigger classroom." She laughed, a chittering sound of agreement. "I'll arrange it." "Excellent work this cycle, Professor." The students showed remarkable growth in empathy and cross-species understanding. After she disconnected, I stared at Luna's photo on my wall, Mira holding her apex predator close, both at peace. Humans looked at creatures designed to kill and saw friends. They found danger and chose love anyway. They took evolution's perfect hunters and convinced them to cuddle instead. And somehow, impossibly, beautifully, it worked. The galaxy was vast and filled with wonders, but nothing compared to humanity's gift, teaching us all how to love without fear.